Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For all those that you knew, this is a terrain build. Nice, easy, cheap, really easy. Saves you time, money, effort. Okay, for all those regular, guys, I feel the love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a second, guys. Right, so what I'm building this week. Just before Christmas, we got all these new handheld units in work, but they come in mad foam and polystyrene and stuff like that. The foam they come in, it's not foam board or nothing like that. It's weird shapes, which I'm going to be using for another build later on because it's really good. My understanding, and this the guy Cross from Creative Terrain told me, it's the same sort of plastic they use to make the plastic milk bowls. Okay, it's just structured a little bit different, but it's the same plastic. I've sprayed them before. I've used it before. I've sprayed it before. You know, you can use it for everything, but they're for another build. But there was other interesting pieces I had, stuff like this. Okay, now straight away you can already see that'll make a nice building, but the only thing is this is not flat. That way it's absolutely perfect. And there's these ones as well. Yeah, because one of my viewers asked me, look, you know, you do make nice easy terrain, but sometimes I get lost following it and I lose my way a little bit. Got to make easier bits. You know, it's not a problem. I come across these, so these are all in the bag with other bigger pieces and everything else, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is going to be a nice, fantastic, easy bits to do. You know, shouldn't take too long at all. When I first saw these, I was looking, oh, I'll cut this bit off and sculpt this and do that and did it, and I turned them up the other way, and I was like, no, actually, they're pretty handy the way they are. And this piece is amazing. You can already see, and it sits flat. There's a little bit here. So what am I going to do with them? I'm going to leave them pretty much as they are. In terms of this one, I'm going to put a bit of foam board on the inside there, okay, to cover the hole. Just these little circles, I'm going to just burn them off. Same with this one. There's identification markings on the polystyrene, so I need to get rid of those first. These are not going to take very much sculpting, okay, like with the hot knife or even with a blade. They're not going to take much at all because they are pretty much nice the way they are. And if I start sculpting into them, I don't want to risk the structural integrity of the actual polystyrene itself. The other thing is, once I've secured it and got rid of that hole and stuff like that, I can embellish it even more with little simple things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of those little markings. Then I'm going to filler mix the whole thing. Yeah. Actually, no, I'm going to get rid of the markings first. Then I'm going to decide whether I'm going to filler mix it or embellish it first, which way it's going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'll get rid of the markings first and I'll come back to you when I've done that, guys. Okay, see you in a second. Somebody's going to say, John, why don't you show us, you know, doing it? It's very easy to use, but it's hard to use and film and do the, you know, unless I've got it overhead, and over the lighting's really bad, so I didn't want to do that. Now, I started doing this one. Okay, as you can see just in the corner there. Wait, let me show you before I start doing that. This is a hot knife. Okay, that's how small it is. Now you'll see there's little black bits on it. That's the polystyrene where it's melting onto it. The only maintenance I've done to this, now I think this was from Amazon, 12 euros or something like that. It's, you know, very cheap. The only maintenance I've done to this, I had it like that, and it was literally caked in bits of plastic that this was melted onto it. I got some fine grit sandpaper and gave it a gentle rub down, just took all the crap off it. And I've used it many times since, and it's fine. Now, this one's a great one because it plugs in and there's an on-off switch. Okay, the only problem with it is, for me, it heats up very quickly. It's a good thing because you're not waiting around for hours, but it just heats up very quickly, so you literally have to plug it in, be ready to go, switch it on, 20 seconds later it's ready to go. This one doesn't have a, I have another one which is the smouldering iron. It has a little gauge on it. We can turn the temperature up and down, but this one doesn't have that. So, but with those as well, the hot knives have a ventilated area. You know, I couldn't film it with a mask on, try and talk to you, and do the camera angle and the lighting, and it was too much. I said, no, just quick do it. It done. It took me 2 minutes to do it, and it's done. Now, so this one, I started burning it out. Yeah. Then I looked at the other one and said, no, don't need to do that really. It's not a major issue on this particular design. But I went a little bit over the top on that one. But that's not a big issue, because when I put filler mix on, it's going to look like it's damaged concrete. Now with these ones, yeah, I really got rid of the bits and pieces. Like I said, when I put filler mix on, that's all going to come up to the same sort of level anyway, so it's nice and easy. This bit here was a solid bit of polystyrene. Sorry, the line's going weird because I'm showing the same way. There's a solid bit of polystyrene, so what I've done is just cut it down, melt across. As you can see, I caught this bit as well. And the same on this one. Again, I caught this bit along here as well. Let me get you on camera. Okay, I caught that as well to try and take this out. But again, it's not a big issue because as I filler mix it, it's fine. Yeah, so now I need to do what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this gap first of all with a normal piece of foam board. You can use a piece of serial card actually. Don't worry about marks in here. Yeah, there's some identification marks in here because you're going to use it like that. Well, I'm going to use it like that, so I don't need to worry about what's underneath. Okay, so a piece of serial card in there or a piece of foam board, doesn't matter. Now, you don't have to make it so it's the whole size of the whole piece. You just make it so it covers the gap. Then what we're going to do, and you get a couple of these. These are barbecue skewers, okay? And we're going to, there's one end that's sharp and one end that's flat. We're going to put the sharp end in through the side here. Can you see that? Yeah. So it comes through and sits just underneath the card, okay? And helps support the card. Now, that is longer, slightly, than the actual piece. Yeah, to the top and to the bottom. So even if it's hanging out a bit, obviously you want to try the sharp end hanging out because then we can snip it with the clippers. Okay, so that gives it a nice bit of, and there is a nice bit of strength on that as well. Bear in mind it's going to be plastic models and stuff on it, so it's not going to weigh, you know, too much. I would go with probably 2 across there, just to support the weight of the gap. But you could do it the opposite way. Okay, same thing but the opposite way. And probably get 3 of them in there, but I don't know. I wouldn't bother with this, covering this up, because that makes great line of sight straight through. Okay, you can also have like a tank the other side, or tanks inside, or you know. But if you wanted to cover that up, again, put a piece of foam board across, on the inside, or a bit of serial card across the inside. Embellish a little bit with some spring bits, or you know, whatever. It's not a big issue. But I'm not going to do that with them ones. There's some amazing corners on here, by the way. Look at that amazing sharpness on the corners. Now they do sort of semi-stack up on top of each other. Not perfectly now, but they sort of do stack up a little bit. So if you wanted to use them like that, I wouldn't, but you could do. These bad boys. You see, this is lower. So what you could do, I don't know, I might even do it myself, I'm not sure yet, is put a bit of serial card in the inside there. Just in between that gap there and that gap there. Okay. And then get little bricks and glue little bricks in there. You could do that. I don't know if I'm going to, because I want this to be very simple. But anyway, I'm gonna start looking at where I can embellish and start embellishing. I'm gonna actually do that first. Seal that gap with the bit of foam board or a bit of serial card, wherever I have lying around. As soon as I can, guys. Right, so all I've done is got a nice cut piece of foam board and just hot glued it on. Okay, sturdy as anything. Then I came up with an amazing idea. I'm going to have to fix that. It's a little bit damaged, so I'm going to have to run some hot glue into that to fix that. It's not like an issue. An amazing idea. Okay, I've got 2 of these ones and I've got 2 of these ones. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to filler mix and embellish one of them, and I'm not going to filler mix the other one. I'm just going to paint it black and just, so this will be the very basic, and the other one will be basic but with a bit of embellishment on it. And I'll do the same for the other ones as well. So you can, if you have mad pieces of polystyrene like this, you can do the same sort of thing. Or you can just take up to the basic level, just tape top ready, off we go, or you can go to the higher level. Obviously the one that does not get filler mixed, I'm still going to give a little bit of a dry brush, but it's not going to have that much, you know, it's not going to pop that much because it's pretty much a flat surface. So guys, I'm going to get on with filler mixing the two of these and then base coating the other two. Come back to you in a second, guys. Right, so what I've done here, as you can see, yeah, what I've done is I've taken an off-cut piece of foam board, cut it into strips, and then what I've done is I've cut the strips down, show you this, in half, yeah, well I say half, it's more than half, less than half, but roughly half by eye. And then what I've done is I've cut them corner to corner, yeah, that's not quite the same piece, but anyway, corner to corner. You've got these lovely triangle pieces, and then you just hot glue them onto there, yeah. And the reason I've done that, I'd like to cut this one down a little bit, but I can slot that on there. It gives you a nice little walkway then, yeah. So I'm embellishing this one a little bit more. I might do that both sides actually, just to give me a nice extra walkway. Just thought I'd show you that before I get too carried away. Yeah, I'm going to do that now, guys, and then I'll come back to you after. Right, so I've given them all a black base coat. For some reason the black paint wasn't sticking to the polystyrene. I don't know if there was like a thin coat of something on there, or what the story is. I sort of gave it two, I think this one's had 3 base coats of black. So then I'm going to give it some normal base coats of, you know, the painter's grey. But I thought to myself, I'd try some of this stuff, yeah. Now, if you don't know what this stuff is, I did show this on the weekly Wednesday not so long ago. It's a roll of this material. It's meant to be non-slip stuff, just flat one side. It goes in cupboards and on fridges and all that sort of thing to stop things sliding around. So I cut a piece off and I tried to super glue it on, you know, on the piece I'm working on. Super glue would not take it, didn't want to stick with the super glue or nothing. So I cut a little off-cut piece and I hot glued it to paper plate to see if it would bow or if it would sit nicely, if it would melt or anything like that. And I tell you what, it's absolutely perfect. Not cut nothing come through the other side. It's, yeah, it's nice and as flat as can be. So then I cut some pieces and I glued them onto here. As you can see, this is all mangled a little bit because one thing I did, I filler mixed it and then I gave it a black spray down, under spray, and then I gave it a black rattle can. Obviously there's a bit that I missed, so it's warped it a little bit here, and not warped it, but melted it a little bit here and there. It's not a big issue because once I give it a paint, then it's going to give it more texture and stuff. So all I'm going to do now is get some painter's grey onto the plate, and I'm going to give it a base colour down. Yeah, there's 3 of them here, 1 in the house, so these 3 get a base colour down, and then I'll switch one of them with the one in the house and do the same thing. See you soon, guys. Right, so here's where we're at with this. Okay, this is one piece. I've got 3 pieces, I've got 4 pieces here, but one of them is still very, very wet. So I'll dry brush the 3 and then just wait for that to dry. Well, I'll dry brush the 3, you know, edit the video and upload the video and just do the other piece another day. You can see this is still a little bit tacky actually. Ah, shit. I was going to dry brush it because it's been such a long time. I said the weather here is just so bad. It's so cold, things are just taking a lot longer to dry. So it's basically the painter's grey on it. As you see, it's still a bit tacky. Got some screaming skull. I'm just going to dry brush Screaming Skull. There's a painter's grey and a Screaming Skull. This painter's grey with a Screaming Skull dry brush will really pop really well. As a Screaming Skull with a layer paint, it will just go on bright and dull down. You can get your hands on painter's grey and you want to use it for make stonework. It is so much better, so much easier. This is one of the flat pieces, so there's not going to be much texture on here. Right, so this big boy over here. That one seems to be okay. Now this one has filler onto it, so the texture on this one should really pop. If you don't want to sit there and watch me dry brush for 20 minutes, I'm just going to do a bit of silver onto there as well. This is Rune Fang Steel, another layer paint. This is just on top of that. That's that material, that roll material for the non-slip stuff. Straight away you can already see a difference. So I'm going to go off camera, just finish dry brushing this one and the third one, because the third one is textured as well. Ironically, this is the one that isn't. You see it's still wet. All up in here, still soaking wet, I can see that. But it's just one of the basic ones. But anyway, I'm going to go off camera, finish dry brushing this, dry brush the other one, and then come back to you again. Then guys, see you in a second. Right, so I've finished dry brushing those three, and I will tell you, the two that I filler mixed and textured look 100 times better than the basic, you know, plain one. But you'll see when I show you some pictures in a minute. just goes to show the extra little bit of attention, a bit of filler mix, you know, just really stands out when it comes towards the end. So I hope you liked this video. Please like, share, subscribe, turn notifications. I'm going to show you some pretty pictures now, and I hope this has been a nice easy follow along build. You know, it's rather than cutting this and gluing this and doing this and that, it's just simple pieces, you know, just turn in a way that they weren't stored in or anything like that, but just turn it in a way and painted up that you can use them. So guys, I'll show you some pretty pictures. Until next time, take it easy. Right, here we go guys. So there's the first piece. I just put some models on there just to show you how simple it looks. Yeah, that's with texture on it. Sorry, lighting's a bit weird. Here's the other one with texture on it. Okay, now here's a plain one. You can see the difference. Okay, it's a vast difference. That's textured, not textured. So that's basic simple, you know, just put it on the table and away you go. That's a little bit more effort, just with a filler and everything else, and do dry brush anyway, but just a filler. This is the one with the non-slip material. It's absolutely fantastic. I actually really like that material. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the buttons for me, and I'll see you next time.